What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Hope you guys are having a good day. The news of the day is Letitia James was indicted. Two counts. The first count is bank fraud, and the second one is one count of false statements to a financial institution. Now, there's already information that's out about what they already know, except for, like lawyers know about what happened. Supposedly, she bought a house or something for her niece, and it was a power of attorney that did it all. And I don't know if she was like somebody who co-signed for the niece. I'm not sure about all that, but from what they say, the power of attorney and the niece were working on it, and I guess there was a mistake in the paperwork. And she corrected it. This is way before any of them came forward or anything like that, but she corrected it. But I guess the niece was answering the questions or whatever, and this is going to be her primary home. So she says it's going to be primary home. Letitia James found out about it, I'm guessing back then, and changed it. It's like, no, it's not my primary home. My niece is going to be living there. Okay, and that was on the document, and that's what they're trying to call bank fraud. Like she got a specific deal by having a certain thing. Usually, when people break the law, they don't go back and say, "Hey, yo, that ain't right. That ain't what I put down." They keep rolling with it. Why would they change it? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. That she's gonna have to prove in court. But my thing is this: I don't understand how a president in our country, this is the United States of America, can actually have hit men and women working for the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and then now the DOJ, FBI, and all the alphabet people. They can go after people that Donald Trump just wakes up one day, I want to go after this person because they pissed me off. And they really act on that instead of looking for real fucking criminals. Whoever's on his hit list, but you're not looking for real criminals, like people who can really harm American citizens. You're sitting here looking at someone for bank fraud when there are people out there doing crimes that are killing people, child sex trafficking. There are rapists out there, there are pedophiles out there, and you're focusing on mortgage fraud. Because Donald Trump was charged with mortgage fraud in which he was found guilty 34 fucking times. And it's just so strange how you seem to go out and get people for the same fucking crime that the Orange Cretin got charged for. That to me is odd. I could see if they had a crime where they let's say Letitia James did something illegal and got somebody behind bars. Oh yeah, you got it for it? Go ahead and do it. You don't have any evidence. No prosecutor wants to bring it because they're like, this right here is not enough evidence to bring there. I mean, you can get a grand jury to get a jury, a yes for, like they say, a ham sandwich or whatever, which I don't understand why that should be. Why should they be that? You should have to have some level of proof that this shit happens, other than just me going in and saying, look at here, I got evidence. Oh, the defense ain't here yet. Here's real evidence. It's true. And then when I get to court and you find out the piece of evidence that got me in the court's a piece of shit, why the hell am I in the courtroom when this person done brought something to me to people? It would seem the way, I don't think I'm a genius or nothing, but if a prosecutor brought some drummed up evidence to a grand jury just so they can get a trial, and then when they come to trial, you find the evidence that they presented was either fake or either it was a lie, that person should be disbarred or at least put up with some type of situation where they be suspended for a while, because you're literally going after people without evidence. We'll see what comes out. But the reality is every learned prosecutor been doing it for decades, said there's nothing there, smoke and mirrors, can't do it. And even though they were Donald Trump MAGA minion, some of them, and they said, nope, can't do it, bro. It ain't nothing there. And just because of loyalty to him, to the orange guy, they decide to go and break the law, or at least stretch the law. So we'll see. Adam Schiff, they're going to come after you next, bro. Adam Schiff and a few of his lawyers that left, they coming after them. I don't understand how nobody's asking for the 25th Amendment. I mean, this man is breaking every law that a president should not be able to do. If Obama had pulled off 1/115th of what this man is doing, if you could prove that Obama went after somebody, like Donald Trump's always saying, Obama, he did this, he did that. If you could prove one iota of what they blamed him for, they'd have him behind bars. They're trying to charge him even now. After Donald Trump gave presidents immunity, they're still trying to charge him for something. What's up, everybody? I see you, DJ, Dennis, Mark, D, what's happening? Woke Mike, I see you. Vicky, I see you. Jen James, welcome. Vicky, I see you. Who else is in here? I think that's it. Dennis, I saw you. No one. It's just insane to me that they allow the president to do this. No president. I mean, Nixon got kicked out of office for doing 1/100th of what he's doing. And now it's like, okay. I mean, we had more, as a people, we had more morals in the 60s, you're telling me? Late 60s, early 70s? We had more morals, well, I'll say 60s. You had more morals in the 60s than you do now. That's sad. I thought we were supposed to evolve, not devolve. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't understand how we're just looking at this shit. And I saw like people talking about, you know, Donald Trump is doing something that, you know, just isn't right. And I mean, on news and stuff like that, I'm like, he's doing illegal shit. What you mean just isn't right? And it's just going after his enemies. And he's got this enemy list. And I'm like, remember Nixon had that enemy list, and he was going to either go to jail or get out of the police, out of the White House. And so now we don't have those morals anymore. We're allowed to just do this type of shit. So what's going to happen when a Democrat gets in that's got a little shitty attitude when he or she gets mad at something? I ain't saying that's who we are, but we don't know when power reaches somebody and they realize they can yield it a lot more than they thought they could before. See, the stretching of the abilities to do what Donald Trump is doing is only going to allow some of these people, not all, some of these people who seek this type of power and strength in any party, independent, Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal. Once you get a taste of that type of power, you're going to be like a crackhead. These people are going to literally try and get what they need done without having to abide by the law if Donald Trump allows this shit to stretch, which he's done. The American people, by Republicans alone, I consider them the enemy of the state because America is no longer the way America should run. And it doesn't seem like there's any boundaries to bring Donald Trump back into the realm of this is America, not a dictatorship. You can't just willy-nilly do what you're doing. And they're going to courts and getting it brought back, but he is going past the courts. And this, was it the plenary power, the plenary authority that they talk about? It's crazy how we talked about that last night. I see a lot of podcasters and internet people talking about it. I have yet, not unless I missed it, I have yet to see CNN, MSNBC, ABC, Fox, of course not, any of these other stations literally look at that and say, what does he mean, plenary power? Whoa, wait a minute. There's no king. None of that. Nobody has dove deeper into that. Nobody's tried to reach out to him like, what do you mean by this? None of it. Just let it fly. I'm confused by that. Only the internet, the podcasters, YouTubers, we're the only ones really talking about this shit. that Stephen Miller just told the whole world that they're looking to take over this world like he fucking Pinky in the Brain. Now they're trying to take over the world. I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody in their force of, I mean, last I heard, military people, maybe you got me, maybe I got it twisted. The House, the Senate, all the powers that be, maybe I got this twisted. But I thought you guys pledged to the Constitution. Why aren't you fighting for the fucking country, the country and democracy, and you're allowing this dipshit to just bloody the shit out of all we spent 200 going on 250 years in this experiment? He's trying to tear it down, and nobody's fighting for it like they give a fuck about it. There are men and women that went out here, they've lost legs, they lost lives, they lost eyes and ears, they lost their peace, they lost their ability to even kind of like have sanity. They done did all kinds of shit to save this country. 250 years of death, destruction, valor, all this extra stuff that they don't put their lives on the line for. And who the fuck is fighting for? We got military, not military, but military-ish men out here destroying shit. I thought our military is supposed to protect America. I understand that dipshit is the head of the country, but your duties are to the Constitution, not that dipshit. In fact, you're allowed to go against what he says if it turns out that this man is trying to destroy democracy. You're defending America, not a man. And I don't understand this shit. I really don't. This country says it's one thing, but when it comes down to it, I don't know whether it's that you guys are scared. I don't know what it is. I really don't understand why people aren't standing up and saying, you know what? Fuck this. These people are trying to destroy our country. Let's start either putting them into jail. Let's start charging them for shit. But this country's so fucking weak. They got so many fucking bylaws and side laws and bullshit that you got to sit here and try and sue them 57,000 times just to get them to be charged with something. When you know damn well what he's doing. Everybody sees it. Lawyers see it. And they're like, oh, it's going to be tough. What the fuck do we have these laws for? What is the Constitution for? When people break it, you got to sit there and go all around the world to save the damn country. Why can't you just actually implement the fucking law? What's the use of having them if you got to do all kinds of shit to activate them? They're telling me the evil has more power to destroy the country than Americans have set up to protect their country? I don't get that shit. I don't get it. Somebody needs to try their damnedest to get this man out of office. People that live in these states where Republicans are winning, there are Democrats in that state. Get your ass out and vote. If you ain't voted before, go get your sign up to vote. There's no way, if you're not trying to save America, you're trying to destroy her. And these people are destroying everything we've built. Everybody here, don't been here a generation or two, we all have blood, sweat, and tears into this country. We thought about the American dream and everything. We got a small percentage, 30% or so, of hateful people that are willing to burn this bitch down just to get what they fucking want. And the rest of us sitting around watching these bastards destroy what our ancestors have died for. What the fuck can we do? I mean, we can't just sit around and do nothing. Our leaders should be telling us what we could do. Our leaders should be doing it. If this is all you can do is just sit around and wait, go to court and wait, while they activate every day some other evil. There need to be like stopgaps and clauses in our law that immediately says if anybody ever tries to take us to a dictatorship, that person should be held liable for treason automatically, sentenced to death. There needs to be something that puts an example for Americans to never step out this fucking line again. Trying to take us outside of a democracy and going towards some kind of autocracy or dictatorship, those people should be made an example of. If you're fucking with America, I understand that you can agree to disagree on shit, but Republicans are going against every law that we have. Every last one of them. Breaking every law that we have. Acting like they love the country they're trying to tear down. The shit's an oxymoron. You can't love something that you're trying to destroy. They had one chance and they decided to go to Congress January 6th, and they said what they thought about America. They threw shit on America. On the walls of America. You guys think that's the House and the Senate and Pelosi? Fuck them. Everybody's going to be in, and no matter who party's in that bitch, that's America. They went and put shit all over America because they didn't like who was elected to be the next president. That ain't loving America. That's hating America. Put shit on the walls of America. That's what it represents. And then getting pardoned by this Mussolini fuck. And we just acting like he's just a regular president. He is not. He is the enemy of the state. There is no way in hell we got a president in the House, in the White House, that is trying to destroy the country for Democrats. And any Republican that gets out of line, you can get it too. It's either loyalty or he's got your neck in a noose. And you say that's American? It's not American. That may be Russia. That may be some other part of China back in the day. That might be some other country, but it's sure as fuck in America. I don't know what y'all think about America. It ain't done right by my family and my cultures, black people for shit. But what we done fought for, what my ancestors done fought for and died for, that's why I love this country, because of what they've done to get us where we are, and they're trying to take it back. How can you say you love a country that you're trying to take it back to the Stone Ages? What other country is back at the Stone Ages? What democracy is in the Stone Ages? You can't grow a country and make a country great again by destroying it. How's that? Burn it all down and start back over? That doesn't make you great. That makes you useless until you build back again. You can't divide yourself from everybody. They divided us from independents and Democrats and Republicans in the situation, and MAGA. They divided everything. One group of idiots has divided this whole fucking country over stupid shit. Individual issues. Not realizing your individual issue has become more important than the democracy of this country. None of your issues can be solved under a dictatorship. Not one of them. If you can't go out and march for what you want, if you don't have freedom of speech, how are you going to get shit that you want? They're out here telling you can't even protest. That's how you let the world know what you want. If you can't speak, that means you get what they give you. So how on earth, if you're talking about Gaza, Israel, or any other issue in this country and not democracy, none of it works unless you have democracy. You're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We're like, look here, people. This country is everything we got. The way you live and have lived, the lives that you wanted for you and your kids, that's under a democracy. Under a dictatorship, your kids don't get to choose where the hell they even live, let alone what career they're going to be. They keep painting these racist white people a picture that, oh, life is just going to be great for you. No, they will own you. Power does not stop at whatever they tell you the limit is. Unbridled power just goes wherever the hell it wants to go. You think you're going to be able to rein them in, MAGA? Since when have you been able to? So you give him the power to F up everybody else's life, just gives them the same amount of power to F up yours. What's going to make them stop? The moment you start saying, nah, I don't really want to do that, you're part of the enemy. You say, nah, I don't want my farm to move over. You know, I don't want you guys to put something through my farm. Not at all. Well, you're the enemy. That's how easy it becomes. You know, eminent domain? That literally means once you give him all this power, I don't care what you own. If he wants your property, he'll just say it's for the government, and there's your farm. It's gone. The government owns it. And if you think that that's something too far, a bridge too far for him to do, you crazy as hell. Look what he's done already. There's too much to lose. And you guys are sitting there thinking that it's nothing. It's just, we'll ride this out till it's over. There's no riding it out. Once it's over, it's over. Tell me what democracy has fallen and came back. That's what y'all don't really get. There's no democracy that fell and came back as a democracy. So if you don't want democracy, okay. But here's the thing that you also understand. Under a dictatorship, you know what happens? Once the people rise, they take out their leader. Who's in place? Usually the person who took out the leader. So if Donald Trump goes on to do this dictator thing that they want, and let's just say another race decides to take him out, they take him out. Now that race is leading the country. They ain't no vote nobody in. You take him over, you overrun him, somebody got to run over the next person to get it. That's the way these type of monarchy, king, autocracy shits go. You don't vote nobody in. You unalive them. And then you take over whatever. So if anything, this is the craziest part that you guys thought. Oh, we're black people. These people, dark-skinned people, they're growing in number. So, they'll take us over eventually and do to us what we did to them. Let Donald Trump become a king. That's your fastest way to getting a person of color to become your leader. The fastest way. Because as soon as he gets this king shit you want, all you got to do is take him out, and whoever took him out is the ruler. It's not like you get the vote for him. He just takes him out, and it's a wrap. I am king now. I am your ruler now until you take me out, and you won't be able to. These things that they do in other like third world countries, we do it all the time to other countries, but we try to build a democracy there. We try to make sure that the next leader is the person that we want to be in office. So we end up unaliving their leader, Saddam Hussein, right? And then putting other people in, putting money behind it, allowing the next leader to come in and rule everybody. But we try to make it seem like it's a vote, but we'll give the one who has that we want to be the leader the most money, the most influence, and we teach them how to sucker their people that they live around to believe in what they believe in, and that they have the closest relationship to America that keeps them safe, and therefore that person gets elected, even though that person's a piece of shit that we put in power to represent us and not their own people. Yeah. So these MAGA people don't understand. Make him that type of leader that you're talking about, this dictator shit you're talking about. And eventually some other race is going to take him out and will be your next king. That's the fastest way to go, as opposed to electing somebody. You got a choice in elections. When he has all power, you don't. The person who has power is the only one. He's taken out. The person who kills him takes all the power. They never think shit through. They never think shit through. They just automatically go with their feelings. There's no thought behind it, just their feelings. Now, the leaders, they have thought behind it because they sucker all these people into believing in these hot topics that, oh, racism is not a big thing. I'm tired of feeling like I never was racist. And then they tap into your feelings, tell you everybody hates you, and the only way you're going to get this world back to where you want it to be is it become white power, white supremacy, and that's how we're going to get America back. You understand, it ended the first time. It's going to end again. And it ain't going to be no 200, 300, 400 years for that shit. If y'all want to take it back, trust and believe. It's not going to last. Period. This is a 30%. We have to fight back, people. We have to fight back. We can't just sit around. I'm creating things with Avid Solutionists, trying to come with ideas for the American people to gain power, and to hell with the government and all that shit. As long as we have power, they don't really have power over us. As long as we're divided, that's when they got power. Donald Trump falls. Donald Trump falls once the majority of Americans decide that he's useless. We're not powerless. We just don't have a plan. We don't have unity. You're not powerless at all. Thank you for the memberships. I appreciate that. 5 on fire. You are not powerless. America is powerful. The majority of us are powerful. We just don't have a plan. We're not unified. Those hateful people over there, the MAGAs, they're unified around evil shit. You heard Stephen Miller, plenary power. As you look it up, it talks about just full, unadulterated power. He doesn't have to listen to nobody. He can tell the judge to kiss his ass and keep going. Because the judge doesn't have a way to put somebody like the president behind bars for breaking the laws. There ain't even really no fines they can give him. They found that out the first time, and then they gave him immunity so that he would be immune to anything he breaks the law with. You got to understand something. They have been putting this shit into play for 50 fucking years. They have a plan and a strategy. The rest of us are just flying by the seat of our fucking pants, and we're all flying like fucking like flies in 15,000 different directions. While they're unified around destroying democracy, we're over here bitching about every little problem we got and not focusing on democracy. We don't have any leader that's trying to fight. We don't need to be the president to come up with a strategy to say we're not giving billionaires any money anymore. We don't have to say that all the products that aren't focusing on the people, you don't get none of our money. We'll figure out a way to do it ourselves. We have to buy it from China or directly from Brazil or directly from Argentina and not from the American people anymore. Fuck all that. I'm not buying shit from billionaires if I don't have to. Why? Because you ain't doing shit for America. America's falling. It's on fire right now. And billionaires are fucking quiet, except for the fucking Republican billionaires. The Democrat billionaires, where the fuck are you? You should be screaming every day on TV. We're putting together something. We got a program to do something. We're about to invest in American people. We're going to pay living wage for Democrats. Whatever the fuck you got to do, you don't have nothing set up. Absolutely nothing. They got a strategy they've been building for 50 years. And Democrats, independents, and billionaires who say they're liberal have no fucking plan. Who say they're Democrats have zero plan. Just go to court. And since this has happened in 9 or 10 months, they still don't have a plan. Sure tells me you ain't trying to go nowhere. You just trying to ride it out. And hopefully he doesn't damage everything. But I ain't got time for that shit. Like I said, Avid Solutionists, you can check that out. I haven't started doing my videos yet, but we're going for solutions. We're trying to unite the country around solutions to these hateful people. If we can't unite to defeat that crap, you might as well just leave the fucking country. Well, I'm not going to be in this country with those dipshits leading it. Them turning the country into some dictatorship. We just need to defeat everything they're trying to set up. And there's ways for us to go about it and keep ourselves safe in this whole process. See, one thing I know that they got, they control the narrative in everything. The reason why they control the narrative, especially in this immigration and all that shit, is that Fox is their propaganda. Will put up any lie that they give them. They would tell them Martians are running around the city of Chicago eating people and they got lizard eyes. They'll tell them that shit, and these dipshits watching Fox will believe that shit. All they have to do is create photos of or videos that are AI with a regular person just talking to somebody and their eye just slithers over here real quick. You catch that? You catch that? And these nut jobs will really think that shit's real, and they're out here talking about lizard people. These are the dipshits that are running our fucking country. We allowed that shit in. I didn't go to school try to get all A's so a bunch of people who can't fucking spell their name is running the fucking country? The fuck is wrong with y'all? Wake up. They're running our country. It ain't like they're running a fucking MCL cafeteria. They're running the fucking country. They can't even read, some of them. And we're just sitting around like, it's just another day. I got a life I got to lead. What your life going to be like if you're in a dictatorship? You going to be leading a life then? How your kids' life going to be? Even poor white people, how your kids' lives are going to be? They don't give a fuck about you now. You think they're going to care about you when it becomes white people, the top dog, and everybody gets a job if you're white, blah, blah, blah? You think that's going to happen? Hell no. The billionaires will own everything. Why do you think they're heavily investing in AI? Trying to replace you, not give you more money and give you jobs. These MAGA minions who think that I'm serious, these toothless creatures out here in the South, thinking that their racism is going to help them. They're going to bring back jobs and factories. They're going to bring back robots that work for nothing. All you're going to do is have one or two people in your fucking community go replace the fucking battery. And that will be like an Uber job. It won't be a full-time gig for you. You can't see the future because you're so fucking stuck in the past. Why do you think they're investing so much money into AI? Look at the stock market right now and then go check out the prices of your food. How is it that the stock market's going like this and the price of your food's going like this? How is that? All these tariffs and shit, people paying extra money. Why are they still raising up? Because they buying heavily into AI. Because these tariffs are supposed to be a promise that they're going to bring some shit back here, but they're really not going to bring real jobs here. They're bringing factory jobs that are technology based. And if you don't know shit about technology, you're still going to have no fucking job. You're still going to be poor. Just like last time when Obama became president, what did Obama say? Obama said, and I remember this to this day, the coal industry and other industries like that are going away. The world is moving toward renewable energies. They're realizing that they can be able to get certain things. And this is before Tesla was being built anything worth a damn. The world is moving toward electric cars, windmills, and we got to be at the forefront of what the world wants. Think about that for a second. He was telling you that the world wasn't even on the train. They were thinking about it, but they weren't on the actual train of the windmills, of solar energy. When back then, you could get solar panels put on your home basically for free. It was expensive as hell at first, but it was basically getting there for free if you did that to have renewable energy. Earlier than that, it was expensive as hell. But still, they were trying to edge people toward this. Why? Because they know and you can't keep doing the same shit that we're doing and mess up the economy or the earth and all that, because other countries are wanting to get on the same train with us. We were the leaders going into this. So being a leader, even though China surpassed the shit out of us on it, but we were a leader on it. Had we continued to heavily invest, right? Think about this for a second. If you're a business person at all, let's look at it real quick. America used to be at the end of the war, World War II. We used to be even during the time before World War II even ended, we were a manufacturing country. We made shit. People bought our shit. We made weapons and things of that nature, boats and ships, all these different things. We had manufacturing. We had the industrial age kind of ending, but we had that, right? So we had it on lock. Everybody was buying from us. Then these billionaires decided, hey, we can get this shit to like another country, China and all shit like that, and then have them, because they had slave wages back then. We used to always talk shit about China having slave wages, and they were breaking in and finding little children sewing shoes and boots and all this other shit. And we were like going over there saying this is wrong, but over there they were doing it. Then America got wise, evil, I might say, evil genius. They went over there and said, hey, we won't tell you that you got these kids in here if you make our shoes for $2.50. Our higher brands, $15. And you going out and buying Gucci for $350 made in Mexico and part in China for 75 cents or $7.50 or $25. And they got over on Americans for fucking ever. We thought they were doing shit for us. No. Billionaires were making a mint off of us, going to China, going to Bangladesh, going to Brazil, buying shit that they have the exact same shit we got over there. It cost them $7, costing us $700. And we thinking like we got this Gucci, we got this, we got this, and everybody's talking about what they got and the name brand and shit. And overseas, they got the exact same brand. For $500, you buying it for $50,000 over here. The Birkin bags and shit over there, fucking $1,500. It ain't worth $50,000 if you can go to another country and get it the exact same shit for $1,500. This country has been robbing the shit out of American citizens, getting you to believe in brands so much that you ain't even giving a fuck about America. You caring about a fucking product. You think the product's American. It's not. It's made overseas. The money you spending is American. The product you getting is from China. How the hell buying a Chinese product with an American name on it supporting America? They got rid of our factories, kept the name American, or Italian, just so you can buy it. And now you got all this shit that ain't even worth the shit that you got in your house, the cars and everything added up. And probably America, it's worth $1 million. The same shit overseas worth $15,000. $150,000. You got $1 million, it's $150,000 over there. Why? Same product. Because America robs its citizens. Whatever they say it's worth, you fight and crawl and scratch and work 17 jobs to get one product that ain't worth a damn. And now they don't turn on us again. They decided, okay, we took the jobs over there. We made these products for cheap. Now we're going to get them mad at China because we try to fuck China over big time. But we're going to get them mad at China and try to bring these factories back. Now they want the manufacturing on top of charging you a mint. Because China, when we gave them a nickel, they turned that shit into 500 million. And America's like, wait a minute, how'd they do this? Technology. They surpassed us. They made their people smarter. They invested in every area of their people. So their people far outweigh ours in intellect, something you can't really buy. You can only invest in. So they're brighter in many ways than us. Their technology is more advanced than ours. Why? Because we have to import people to do it. Because this country has done its damnedest to make its citizens stupid. That's why you have Donald Trump in office, not once. He tried 3 times, got in there twice. This country is so fucked, it will elect an idiot and think he's smart. And every country's laughing the fuck out of us, saying, look, America is supposed to be all this great country. They keep electing their dumb people. And they think Trump is smart. This is the dude that literally takes his shit in his diaper while we're sitting eating. That's America. And we're suckers to believe that this dude and others got our backs. And they don't. If they did, they will be paying us a living wage. They overcharge us for shit and won't pay us worth a damn. You get a union, they're trying to bust it. A union is the only thing that's allowed us to be able to have a job worth a damn. Without the union, we wouldn't even have weekends off. We'd be working 7 days a week. Do your research. Without unions, we wouldn't have vacations. We just have to ask off every once in a while and feel bad about it. Without unions, we wouldn't have a 401k. These companies didn't care. And why do you ask that Republicans and many politicians want to try and get rid of shit like this? Because they don't want to pay it. They want to make all the money and keep you poor. That's how they stay empowered. Well, people, we have to realize at some point in time, we're tired of being suckered. We're tired of being treated like we're the dumb ones. We're tired of the dumb people gathering together and unifying and outnumbering the mass majority of us because we can't unite around anything. That's one thing that comes with having an evolved brain, is that we think a lot. Sometimes we overthink. And when you're stupid, all you got to do is put something in somebody's face. Look, follow the light. Follow the light. And they're like, that's all they have to do. Follow the hate, follow the emotion, and it's just all over the screen. Oh my God, I feel good. And they have no thought but to follow it. Come here, puppies. They call everybody else sheep. But everything they do, they're looking at it. Us, we're looking at, well, why is that thing bouncing? Why we got that going on? The light's kind of tripping. I don't know, what's your problem? We all into thought. And they're all into moving, action, over stupid shit. They're the people that you can lead off a fucking cliff. They're the actual sheep. And people who have a modicum of sense, we need to make that shit common amongst us and unify like them, but toward good, not evil. We need to figure it out, talk to each other, and come up with plans to make this shit work. I'm coming up with some plans with Avid Solutionists. Bring your solutions to Avid Solutionists and tell people about it. The more we have people working toward a goal, the more we can move toward it. Like I said, it's not a situation where, you may have an issue where you want to talk about certain aspect, taxes, and you want to talk about child tax credits, and you want to talk about, investing in Black communities, into Latin communities, into Asian communities, and building a bridge in your area. That's fine. But those things need to be coming secondary. Right now, we need to talk about democracy, that the wheels turn the way they're supposed to be, that our Justice Department is working the way it's supposed to be, that we have an eye out for everything, that everything is recorded and we have the narrative, the truth narrative, not no bullshit. What we have to do is document everything that they say, because again, every time they do something, they control the narrative and they start to get these dumb people believing it. So we got to create an avenue some way, somehow, to be able to have that narrative back. We can't get it from CNN. Fox has its own propaganda shit, but we don't need propaganda. We need fact-based shit that holds people accountable, gets in people's faces with facts and receipts. When a Republican or MAGA says, oh, we went to this event and there was fire and there was people doing this, and like, where's the video? Where's the video at? Because we got video of it. Tell me where this has happened. What street was it on? It was on what street? On 3rd and what? In Broadway? Okay, hold up. 3rd and Broadway. What time was it? Oh, it was around 4:15. All right, 4:15. That's a 360 view of Fort Broadway and 4th. Where was this shit happening in your world? So it looks like you lied to everybody on TV. What are you lying for? We got to hold them accountable. And there's ways to do it. There's ways to have this information. There's ways for Americans to be active. wherever you go, whether you're in a protest, I don't care if you're in the front line of a grocery store, there's ways to do it. And we'll talk about some of these on Avid Solutionist. But like I said, I'm building something that will allow us to be able to have to live stream wherever we're at, to be able to keep them honest. I don't ever want to hear these border patrol people saying, well, I shot him in the head because he wouldn't do this and he wouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. We ain't going to trust their little shit on their chest, their camera. We're going to trust the people. And whatever the people record. See, we always get a camera. We get a camera and it shows you like that person right there. And you only see right in between these lines, right here. That's all you see. But see, over here, there's something. Then over here, there's something. Something in front of you. If you're recording 360, they can't lie about the shit. None whatsoever. And there's a way to do that. I'm doing the math and the technology and all that stuff that we can be able to have people out in protest being able to triangulate their cameras. And if you got your camera on, connect to two other people, you can have a 360-degree angle of all what's going on around you, holding them accountable for their fucking actions. No longer can they lie about the instance and say, well, that part was to the left of the camera, to the right. No, we got 360. So where did it happen? I'm tired of people lying. It's about time we catch them in every one of their lies so that they can't keep telling the American people this bullshit and not have any real facts. You're just supposed to believe them. It's about time we hold them accountable. And if they are police officers, if they are a part, whenever they write a police report or anything like that of that nature, this is what happened. Sorry, but if you do, it's a crime. Punishable, I think about $5,000 and 3 to 5 years or something like that, even for a police officer. Excuse me. To put in a police report an absolute lie. And if you got 360, I don't give a fuck what's on his camera. You'll realize his camera doesn't have all the information. Yours does. And yours will be timed, dated, and everything. See, these are the types of things I've been working on. For us, the people, to have power. Fuck all this giving your... I don't even give a shit about politicians anymore. Because you can't trust everything they say. 5 minutes, you're like, oh, I like this one. 5 minutes later, he's not doing what he said he's going to do. 30 days later, oh, okay, he's doing something. 30 weeks later, how the hell could he be? I'm sick and tired of this up and down shit. The American people want people to fight for them. They want the laws to be the laws and nobody be able to skirt them. We're getting tired of this immunity bullshit. People allowed to do things to American citizens that American citizens can't do to them and get away with it. No, all men, all people are created equal. You shouldn't be able to have an immunity to lie anywhere. If I can get called into the White House or the House or the Senate and lie, can be charged for it. If you're on the other end asking the questions, if you bring up lies, you should be charged too. None of this immunity shit anymore. I'm sick of it. Anyway. Thanks, Five Alarm Fire. I appreciate it. I still got it out there with I'll put it in the comment section. Teams. Avid Solution. I spelled that wrong. Teams at avidsolutionist.com. All right. That right there is an email, teams at avidsolutionist.com. I'm working on, putting this all together. The more people we have, the more we can start to build things like this. I'm looking for people who are either software engineers, proficient in any kind of way of building software, being able to help run even promotional stuff. Either it's going to be Reddit or Discord or whatever it may be as we start to develop more. But the one thing I just mentioned to you is a very simple system for me to be able to blend together. And I'm gonna need people who do database, GUI, graphic user interface, and app building. And I'll deal with the actual the coding that we're going to be using to be. I'll talk to the actual person to see if they actually have these skills. I'll put it out also once I got everything together about what I'm going to use, what softwares I'm going to use, or writing or codes. So I'll give a little information about that specifically to those who email me and have, if what I need from them, what I'm going to need from them is any kind of resume, or if they don't have necessarily a resume, send me a website of their work to show me what kind of things they work with, and then also like what programs or programming software they use, whether Python, Java, something even less more basic than that. I don't care, as long as we can get this out fast. I want to try and put this out. I think we can get it done in about 15 or 16 weeks if we're constantly working, every day. Not every day, all hours, but I would say a good 2 to 3 hours a day for the next 15, 16 weeks. We'd probably be able to launch it and be able to give it to people who are going out to protest, and try it out that way. Again, I'm thinking about making it open source that we can build on it, and the first people who start being a part of it and developing it, you'll get ownership once we decide to make it more of a financial thing. Right now, it's an activist thing. So we want people who are passionate about democracy, people who want stuff to happen, use your skills for the good, and also to create something that's never been done before. Your name would be down in history about how you saved democracy. And I really, really believe that from the bottom of my heart, because we got to do something other than taking them to court. They're ahead of that. They already know what you're going to say in court and all this shit like that, and how to try and defeat it or to let it go. A lot of these court cases that they're dealing with are distractions. They know they're going to lose, but you're over here dealing with a case instead of dealing over here with them changing the laws behind the backs of American citizens. I ain't got time for all that. We need to quell all the extra shit and tell the politicians, get your ass in there and fight. While we out here in the streets or using technology to wrap this shit up, you guys go out inside and start doing what you need to do. And also the fact of us putting stuff together as far as like getting people signed up to vote again. I am so adamant about not really giving two shits about trying to bring a MAGA over. I think they're lost. I think they got hate in their heart that's never going to leave until they're like gone from this earth. There's no need to try and bring hateful, disgusting people to the light. I don't believe so. You can, that's fine. And, maybe you'll get one out of a fucking million, but I ain't got time for that. We need to talk to those who haven't voted in a while, people who lost faith in the system. It's like, dude or ma'am, you see what the system done went through without you in voting? You see what we got in office? Had you voted, this fool wouldn't be here. It's time for you to vote. Even if you ain't never voted before, this time you need to vote. And we need to run that campaign too. I'm willing to put as much money as I can up to run a campaign on that. And again, not something that's all corporate. I want the people to talk to the people. I want real stories of people, why they don't want this little orange craphead in office, how it's affecting their lives. American people, not politicians. American people need to start campaigns and say exactly what they feel, exactly why we're here, how the things are affecting you. No politics involved. How is your life working right now? And if it's working good for you, good. But if it's not working, why? And those of us who understand that the world is kind of shifting on an axis we don't want it to be on, we're the ones that need to unify and start adding these solutions to the world so that we have a better life. We don't have to incorporate those who don't want a better America. They don't have to deal with it. Once we take back the power of economics, they can't survive on the 30%. See, they got the power and the politicians and all that. I'm tired of the politicians ruling shit. I think the American people, the majority of us, what we want, like 80% of us want gun control. Then we don't have to be told by what they tell us to do. We can control guns ourselves, within ourselves. If the 30% want to have guns and do the things they want to do, we can still have guns, but we can hold our 80% accountable. So when the shit happens, we know it's a part of the 30%. Again, we do not have to abide by what they're telling us to do. Laws, of course. But as far as like their feelings and thought processes, and they think like, oh, we're in power, so you got to do what we tell you. No, it's not within the law. We ain't got to do none of that shit we tell you. We'll record it so that when history knows later what type of shit you were, your kids are going to know. Your great-great-great-grandkids are going to know what type of human being you were. Remember when they had Ruby, the young girl who went to school for the first time, and all these racist white women were spitting on her, throwing rocks and shit like that. And the cameras caught these women. These women some of them are still alive. They're your grandmothers, great grandmothers. That's how hateful they were or still are. We know it. They ain't gone nowhere. That hate is still in this world. And they raise babies to hate just as much as they hate. Little black baby going to school. A bunch of white women that are still here today. Y'all act like it's way a long time ago. Go look at those pictures. I guarantee you somebody gonna recognize Mimo. Somebody would. If you haven't already recognized your grandma and grandpa in that audience, torturing children and spitting on them just because they wanted an education in an integrated school. That shit still goes on today. These people, these MAGA, those are the people, their descendants, still holding on to that hate. America, we got to change that. Can't rely on them. We got to unite. If we say that we're not a racist country, if we say that we respect each other, we respect gay, lesbian, trans, bi, all that, then the majority of us want it. Then why don't the majority of us act like it and put into power those things? If we unite it, there'll never be another Republican president ever. Ever. We get divided over stupid shit. But if we are united, we'll never have another one. Not till they get their shit straight. Start actually promising shit that they're going to do to American citizens. Because regardless of party, if you have shit that you have that's going to benefit the American citizens, you can get people to come over to your side. But if it's just hate, that shit gets old after a while. I'm just saying. So it's time for us to move it. And I'm going to do everything I can. So you guys, you'll see. Who's in the prayers? What's going on? Somebody's having a problem. If you're religious, say a prayer for my daughter, Mia. Just found out she needs undergo surgery. Oh, yeah. Most definitely, Mia. Prayers lifted out for you. Sorry that you're going through that. Yeah. Hope it's not too serious at all. I mean, like I had back surgery. That's some serious shit, but it wasn't to the point where I was going to be paralyzed or anything like that. But I couldn't walk worth a damn for a while before the operation. After the operation, it was an outpatient thing. Sometimes our fears put us in situations we shouldn't be in longer than we should be. I was scared of back surgery, and I didn't want to do it. So I spent 8 months to the point where my back deteriorated to the point in 8 months I was basically crawling. This shit hurt so bad. But I got a microdiscectomy and I've been great ever since. So, don't be afraid of it. Hopefully these things will help us get better a lot faster. Oh yeah. Anti-fascist. I look at it as like we love democracy because again, I hate how that group turns everything into a negative. But if we say we're for, let's say like democracy matters. If all Americans, the 80% we're wearing of democracy matters, it shows the unity for democracy. And how can you say anything negative about? They'll try it, but how can you say democracy is bad? We give them. This is one thing I say to the Democrat Party, and just listen. If you don't have to take it, but listen. I understand the terms we use sometimes and what they mean, but you look at the other party and you start to see you give them ammunition to destroy your mission. I'll say it again. You give them ammunition to destroy your mission. You don't want to be working uphill. You know what I mean? You want to move forward, but you don't want to be working uphill just by the name alone. Black Lives Matter. They automatically start saying, well, white lives should matter too, just so they can have an opposite to try and destroy that organization's climb. Black Lives Matter came out, and that shit was like this, flying. But then racists got in and started saying blue lives and black lives, brown lives and white lives, everybody should matter. Then it got stupid people to think that, oh, well, why don't everybody else's life matter? And just like in life, what helps the least of us helps the most of us. So the least of us, meaning black people, they're treated the worst in this country. If their lives matter, everybody else's life matters. It was very simple, but too hard for people to understand, and racists did everything they could to tear it down. That's why I don't bring up anything that comes out of their mouth to destroy us. When they say anti-fascist, they say, oh, Antifa. All right. Then you use terms that make America what America is. Use terms like democracy and also like being a patriot and all these other things that they use. See, they use the American analogy. They use the American flag to get Americans to believe that that's what America looks like. And we go against it by saying stuff like, I want to be a democratic socialist. And even though the young man Mundani is winning with the democratic socialist thing, is mostly his bills, the things that he wants to do to make life affordable. They don't give a damn about the name so much that they're tired of being broke, and he's offering opportunities and hope again, like Obama did, hope and opportunities. These people, every time they get in, is destroy, 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 and we'll rebuild. Possibly, could be, maybe. Tax cuts? And then Mamdani's saying, hey, we need to have affordable housing. Yeah, fuck yeah. Nobody else is talking about affordable housing like that. So, of course, these people want it. New York is expensive as hell. And if you're telling me you're trying to make it affordable, I'm on your team. But what gives them ammunition is calling him a socialist. Why do you have to call himself a socialist? I don't care what democratic socialist really truly means. I'm saying is quit branding yourself shit that's easy to destroy your mission. Your mission is important, not the label, right? So instead of branding yourself something, you can say the American dreamer. It's a person who's bringing back the American dream, right? I consider myself a politician that's bringing back the American dream. Affordable housing, things of that nature. Quit labeling yourself something that easily can be destroyed or easily taken, and all they'll run with when he runs for anything, when it finally gets to the part of running, socialist, 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 socialist. You want to take everything away from him. You want to give everybody money. And so you put yourself in a position that gives you an easy opportunity to lose. Bernie Sanders should have won a long time ago, but his idea of putting himself in this socialist pocket created a huge socialist like group of people that don't want socialism, and they painted him as another country. Now, how do you want to explain yourself? Like, well, keep explaining yourself. You're trying to move upward, and this damn term keeps bringing you back. Every time you saw Bernie talk, well, a socialist this, and it's socialist, and a Democrat socialist. Shut the fuck up with your damn socialist and Democrat socialist stuff. Talk about what you plan to do. Talk about, I'm not either one of these damn terms. I am a person, American citizen that wants the American dream to come back. Call me a Democrat, call me an independent, call me a Republican, call me an American who cares about America. I ain't riding a dime with nobody. I'm in nobody's gang. Then you start to deal with the actual business of American citizens. The shit the majority of us want. And then we can start moving forward instead of always being labeled down so much that it divides us. Our labels divide us. The only label we should have is American. The only label we should have is democracy. All the rest of it is just little tribal gangs we get in to get what we want. Let's just deal with policies. Maybe that'll work. And whoever has my policy has my vote. Whoever focusing on democracy has my vote. Then we can create leverage. But other than that, we stuck. No, there's no party that represents, right? 515 that represents we the people. I'm so sick of both parties following some kind of party line shit. And I'm like, dude, I'm sick of the party part. Could you please just present me what you got going for me? Oh, this? Okay. Don't want to vote for that. Ain't gonna get that one out of me. What? This one? Oh, nope. Don't want that. If you're a Democrat or independent, I couldn't vote for a Republican though. Reason why? They never want anything and they'll lie through their teeth. No matter what, each one of these people will lie. But over my lifetime, the biggest liars have been Republicans by far. Right? And independents are usually Republicans who descended. And a few Democrats who descended away from Republicans, they want to go, from Democrats rather, because they want to go to Republican, but they can't stand everything that a Republican wants. At this point in time, I'm like, let's deal with what you got planned. And the truth of the matter is, as far as plans for the people, because I care about people, Republicans have never come up with a bill that really has focused on the people. I mean, I would love for somebody to tell me one. I mean, most of the time when and it's sad, but most of the time when you hear Republicans talk about what they did, they go back to Abraham Lincoln. And you'd be like, I know this fool didn't just say he's a Lincoln Republican. Lincoln's been dead, bro. The fuck did Lincoln do that's helping us today? I understand what he had to go through and, helped us with the free the slaves and all the stuff like that. And I know the truth about that is not what most white people think. And I'm sitting here like, you're telling me you're a Lincoln Republican, then the next one is a Reagan Republican. You do know Reagan called black people monkeys, right? So how you're telling me well, he had policy. No, his policies was tax cuts, which never paid off and put us in debt. And he had to raise taxes like 16 or 17 fucking times. Yeah, that right there. He didn't do shit for our economy. Didn't create enough jobs worth a damn. And put us in debt just like every Republican has. And didn't really balance the budget on anything. So how the fuck is this dude? So I'm a Reagan Republican. So you're a loser Republican, because the dude was a loser. The only thing Reagan was good for was making movies. They keep fawning over some shit. Tell me what he did. Came up with strategies to rip off American citizens. Okay. There were some things that him and his wife, did that were honorable. I ain't saying he's just completely a piece of trash, but they came up with, stopping, DARE to not use drugs and all that. They came up with these programs, his wife did and all that. I get it. But he still messed up the economy. Then you got Democrats who did all kinds of crazy stuff, but at least they're the only party in history that has literally had this a surplus when a president left. Balanced budgets. The only party that's ever paid off our debt as American citizens. And this was way back when we only owed 500,000, I believe, or something like that. It was a liberal. It was a Democrat that did that. No Republican has ever been fiscally conservative. I don't know where the hell they get this shit from. It's just a label. It's marketing. It's not real. Scary that Americans can sit here and even on television, news and shit, they're fiscally conservative. Please tell me when. Anybody on CNN, anybody on MSNBC, tell me when a Republican was fiscally conservative ever. Tell me which one was it. They always spend more than they make. They always give tax cuts. They don't have no way to pay them back, and we end up in more debt. The last one, Trump, $7 trillion, one man, more than any president in American history. Yet you still want to claim fiscally conservative? Right now, they're trying to destroy healthcare for over 4 to 6 million people now, and then they also built it so that in 2026 or 2027, when it kicks in, over 11 million to 17 million more will lose Medicare and Medicaid. How the hell is that party actually trying to be fiscally conservative? They would have to understand that when healthcare goes away, that means we spend more money for ER. If we spend more money for ER, that means the hospitals are taxed with their doctors having to do ER and all stuff like that. Their primary care becomes a problem. They're spending too much money. That means they got to bring up our healthcare insurance. Everything trickles down for real for us. They fuck up something over here. Next thing you know, it comes down to us. And next thing you know, we're paying more healthcare insurance on top of getting rid of the subsidies. And that's shooting it up 2 times as much. You're going to be really shocked when these people fall off of healthcare and you're paying $3,000 to $4,000 a month for healthcare, and you got to wait 2 or 3 more years for that ER to start packing up. That your $4,000 a month is going to go to $6,000 or $7,000 because they can't afford ER. And your insurance will go up even more because they got to pay for ER when millions of people are coming through ER every month. Or at least every year, let's say. People don't understand the trickle down in that situation. The trickle down is you think this first hit on your health care is going to be bad? Wait till 2027. And then wait till about 2030 when whatever they kicked in, if it's still in and Democrats haven't changed it, when the ER is filled with people who don't have health care, it's going to go from that and shoot up again. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Republicans know this. They think you don't. And most of Americans don't. And so when they get you like, oh, you know, you're going to get back $4,000 because of these tariffs and taxes and a tax cut, you're going to get $4,000, family of 4, family of 1, whatever the fuck they want to say, $4,000 back. I'm like, oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Okay, so how much these tariffs going to raise us up? Oh, about $4,000. So you mean we had zero now? With the tariffs, we stayed we 4,000. Ooh, and I spent it. Now I'm whatever that 4,000, it's gone. And I'm $4,000 in the hole. Not 1 month, not 1 year. Every year I'm gonna be $4,000 in the hole because this. And then on top of that, when it kicks in 2027, oh, I'm gonna be about $6,000 in the hole. And then when that kicks in with the healthcare and the ER going crazy, I'm gonna be like $8,000 down. Not just 1 year, every year. These tax cuts, they're gonna give it to you 1 year. Keep it for the rich for the rest of it, whatever. They do it every time. And it shocks me that Americans sit back and watch them just stab them in the back and turn around and be like, oh, that hurt. Can I have another? A year goes by, they don't realize the wound is healed. I knew it was something strange about the Republicans, but I think I'll give them another chance. As soon as they give it to you, stab you right in the back. You don't remember being left to bleed out. It heals and you become stupid and don't know that the shit happened to you before. Farmers, I'm talking directly to you. Donald Trump came in, fucked you the first time, had to bail you out and give you welfare. And then you elected him again and thought it was going to be different. It's the exact freaking same. Even worse. Tariffs are outrageous now. And your product is dying. You can't teach stupid people to be smart. They're just born that way, I guess. You could actually read a book and be a little bit smarter. We're not asking you to be geniuses. We're asking you to just know enough to make the right decisions, not just for you, for your family members, for your great grandkids, great grandkids, the future of your family. You're making bad decisions because you're looking outside your family and hating on other people when you should be looking at the unit that you helped raise and understand their lives are going to get worse with the decisions and the hate that you have in your heart. But you can't educate, like I said, stupid people. Hate will lead them. No matter where it leads them, to hell or to heaven, they don't have a problem with it. And it's more than likely going to lead them to hell, and they still don't care. I'm just saying. Good night, 5 on Fire. Take care. All right, man. We're praying for whatever's happening, man. Hope everything's okay. Uh, we're about to get out of here too pretty soon. I just wanted to make sure that we all understand that it's up to us. It's not up to our government anymore. Our government's failed us. Our government, the Democrats should be fighting, and they're doing what they have to do, but they're terrible at promoting. They never let you know what their strategies are. Even if they are winning behind the scenes, they suck at promoting at what they're doing to win behind the scenes. So it leaves the people who are Democrats, the people who believe in the way they believe, the programs they believe in, the strategies they believe in, it leaves them hopeless. When they're quiet, we're judgmental because on the other side, they can't shut up. Just lie, lie, lie. And you get our people going out there and not being effective at all. That's what they need to work on. They need an entire team. They need to hire whomever is on Gavin Newsom's team. They need to hire that entire team that Gavin Newsom has to get back at Donald Trump and all these people. When they say stuff, this is how you fight back, Democrats. This strongly worded letter shit is not it. It really is not it. But there's one. Let's see what we got here. Last thing, I wanted to show you this video, and this is something I want the Democrats, the leadership, stuff like that, to kind of pay attention. One, you guys aren't talking about Stephen Miller's mess up on air. That should be in every fucking commercial and explaining what that shit is. That ad itself of him shutting up and like he freezing, knowing it's not him freezing, he's realizing that he fucked up and said something he shouldn't have said. He says inside, but he shouldn't have said outside. He knew it. And it was somebody who, it seemed like somebody was telling him to shut up because he was ready to say another word. He go, ugh. And like he heard somebody say, shut up or whatever the hell. Then he stopped and he froze. So they wouldn't be able to use the video and think there's something wrong with it. But he had just gave away the whole bag by talking about that plenary authority. They need to be talking about that more. But Mike Johnson and Jim Jordan, well, they were on two different things, but Jim Jordan was in an interview with Caitlin, I think Collins or whatever from CNN. And I want to show that before I go. They need Jamal Bowman. Tell me, Vicky, I said the same thing. I don't care that he, with all the laws that these fools have broken, and he supposedly he pulled a fire hydrant or whatever the fuck it is, okay, fine him, but throw him out? Nah. They breaking laws left and right. They got the DOJ and the FBI, all of them doing illegal shit. Not only one law broken, a crap ton of laws broken on the daily. And they don't punish their people. They promote them for breaking the laws. We punish our people, which they should be punished for what they've done. But getting fired and released from their position is not one of them. One may be, and again, Republicans were in power for that in the House. So there was something. He got censured, and then I guess he lost after that. But they need to put him back. They really do. I like that. I liked how he fought. When he fought that one Republican and was like verbally fighting him in front of him, and that white dude couldn't handle it. That MAGA could not handle it. He was trying to talk, and Jamal Bowman just was like, just overpowered him. That's the type of shit they need, a fighter. They need an attack dog, and they need him bad. Bad. I remember when Obama had, was it Keegan? Michael Peel? Not, is it Peel or the other one? I'm trying to remember the light skinned one, the skinny one. He was the mad Obama. That's Jamal Bowman. He should be the mad Democrat, just to be able to say whatever they want to really say and just give it to him to say. Him and Crockett. But this right here says a lot. With Jim Jordan was in a interview, and they're talking about a bunch of things, but this segment right here, they're talking about the healthcare system and how the Republicans, he's saying it's not at fault. We can make decisions about it, but we need to pass this bill first. Like, we'll discuss that in a hot second, but just listen to what he says, and I'll interject. Will it actually show up? Oh, did I not put it up? I didn't select it. My bad. Thought I did. And this week, it's there. It's not showing up, though. Hello? Why is it not showing up? That's hella weird. All right, let's do that. Stop it. Maybe this. Then switch it back. Come on, baby. All right, let's see if it goes when I play it.
Okay, so on these subsidies that you're talking
We just have audio. Video's not there for some reason.
Is their chief demand here? They expires?
Hold on. That's why it will not select it. Let me select it again. There we go. That's highly weird. It's not taking it for some reason. I'll let's play the audio here in a second. If I can't get this to work, client area. And yeah, that'll be it. There we go. The hell?
Soon. You do have people in your district who are in the Obamacare marketplace. I think it's about 36,000 of them, unless you have a different number. Do you believe that the subsidies should be expanded so premiums don't go up?
I think what we got to focus on is Chuck Schumer opening the government up, and then we can deal with that question. What I do know about Obamacare is everything they told us about Obamacare a decade ago when they passed this thing turned out to be false. They told us that, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. They told us if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. They told us premiums will go down. I think the President Obama actually said premiums will go down on average $1,500.
What is he talking about, ladies and gentlemen? Everybody I know, their health care went down. I don't know anybody. Who is he talking about? See, when the bill first came out, the Affordable Care Act, not Obamacare, I was trying to figure out, Affordable Care Act. When it first came out, there was problems with it. You remember that the internet crashed because everybody was trying to get on it and it just wasn't ready. And Democrats and Republicans was, oh, look, Obamacare doesn't work. First time ever done in history. Didn't expect so many million people on it at one time. Server and everything crashed. It came back up. Whoop-de-whoop, bro. It wasn't that big of a deal. But they made all this drama out of it because they just hated this black man so bad that he offered Americans, all Americans, not just black Americans, all Americans, a way to get health care. Everybody's health care. My health care, when Obamacare came out, and I didn't have Obamacare, my health care for me and a 4-person family, and my daughter was diabetic, so we had to buy insulin and different things of that nature. My insurance before Obama came out was probably around $1,200, something like that, a month. Okay? Once Obamacare came in and everything started to work, people who didn't have Obamacare, their health care went down. My health care went down from $1,200 to about $800. And that was almost immediately the following year that it was there. And it went from $800 that year, the following year, $580 or something like that for a family of 4. Same doctor, same everything. I understand with anything. You can get an iPhone, excuse me, or a Galaxy and swear up and down personally that your Galaxy, the one you got, yo, that's the best damn Galaxy, man. The best Galaxy was number 4, whatever the heck. I kept it, blah, 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 blah. Be excited about it. Still talk about it. You can go online and you'll have so many people talking about how crappy that phone was. Couldn't stand it. But it turned out to be great for you. These people understand that there are going to be odds where people who may have been getting some kind of loophole that disappeared and their insurance may go up. They may have been getting really low health care to begin with because they was using some kind of loophole. Once this was created, these loopholes went away and you had to afford, had to be under, the amount of money that they had. I think it was like $100,000 to be able to get that decrease in it. You had to be 120, 125, something like that. Under that, you could get these subsidies. Over that, you couldn't get them. So our healthcare at the very beginning, not everybody, some went up. Some of people's went up because they had this premium healthcare and all this luxury shit. It went up. But the ones down here that had just regular or really good insurance, but not like, bronze or even the elite, but, silver, gold, whatever it is, theirs went down a little. Mine went down drastically. And I had mine in the platinum area. Right? And then when I realized, I would say, one year I said, you know what? I'm going to try and see what it's like to go down from the platinum, because platinum, I went to like really high-end hospitals and all stuff like that. But one of my friends told me they got a lower down healthcare and had a really good doctor and had a nice doctor's office. It was just comparable to the other. So I chose to go to a mid-tier, a little bit further down, not bronze, but down from, I think I was like at gold or something like that. The one that's right below platinum. And y'all, I got the best damn doctor's office. I tell people all the time, I was paying thousands of dollars a month for healthcare, and my doctors were average. I was just going to a really expensive hospital. Everything cost like crazy. The doctors are like, oh, you're here type of thing. I went to this one under the gold, I believe. Y'all, I could not believe the way I was treated at this doctor's office. I was like, I've wasted my money all these years. This doctor's office had apps and shit that keeps my health on it. I have access to it. I didn't have that with my last high expensive doctor's office. Didn't have that. I had to fight to get my x-rays for my back. Why do you need them? They're mine, bitch. That's why I want them. They didn't want to give them to me. This doctor's office, you need your files? Okay, cool. Copy, send it to you. We'll even send it to your home if you don't want to take them with you. Depends on how big the x-rays are. But the first day I went to it, and just to give you an example, the first day I went to it, I'm sitting out in the lobby, chilling. You pay online and shit like that. I'm sitting there chilling. 2 doctors come out. I'm thinking they're going to lunch. Do you understand? These 2 doctors came, sat beside me, said, "How you doing today, sir?" Me being skeptical, I'm like, it was a female black doctor and a white male doctor. And me being skeptical, I'm like, "Are y'all good? Is there a reason why y'all sitting here? Are we doing something?" And they're like, "No, we're just checking to see if you're okay. You all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good. You want something to drink?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." Came back. The lady had some in her pocket, but he went and got me a full thing of water, plastic bottle of water. She had small ones, and I guess they give them to the kids. I'm sitting there like, and they went around the room talking to everybody, just asking them questions. This was not my doctor. This was the welcoming crew. I was like, "Do y'all do this every time?" I'm like, "What is this shit right here? What's going on? Is there a star here or something? Y'all boss here?" She said, "No, we do it all the time." I was like, "Do we pay for this?" Do I have to pay you more or something like that? I got to tip you? I'm tripping, y'all. I'm tripping. I'm like, are we supposed to tip you for this? She's like, no, not at all. I tell you, I love my doctor's office. Not like it. Love it. I wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars with that other shit. And I was at the platinum of platinum thinking that was the shit. Like I said, these high number shits is just to rob Americans. My healthcare now is better than when I was spending. My daughter stuff, when she's older now, she's off of healthcare. It went to like, for insulin before Biden, to get all her stuff was about $35, $40. I'm sitting here like, wow, this is crazy. I'm telling you, man, it's insane, yo. It's insane. But before, when she was like in 2000, before Obamacare came out, that shit was high as hell, and the insulin bottle was like $200 or something like that, 160. Insane. So I don't trust a word they say. Let's go ahead and finish off with this nut job I was talking about. But I don't believe a word they say. This man is sitting here telling you, let's go ahead and pass this bill and we'll discuss subsidies or something like that for healthcare down the line. I'm like, huh?
They were 0 for 4. Everything they told us turned out to be false. And then what they did back at the start of COVID, they said, we're going to expand Obamacare. Everything we told you about was false, but we're going to expand it with this enhanced tax credit, this subsidy. And then again, they renewed it and said, we're not only going to expand it, we're going to extend it. And now they want to extend it again. And Hakeem Jeffries said 1 year's not enough. We got to do it for 2 years, or we're not even going to discuss anything. So I think that's the history. And I think, again, most people in our district, most people in the 4th District of Ohio, most Americans around the country think that makes no sense. Let's figure out how we can do healthcare better for all Americans. Let's not keep subsidizing, expanding, and extending Obamacare when, again, when you look at what they told us, it all turned out to be false.
So you're against extending the subsidies?
Yeah, I think that's a problem. I think we should look for other ways to improve healthcare for Americans, for families, and do it at a cheaper cost.
Yeah. Okay. When you hear what this man just said, I think you guys are thinking what I'm thinking. I hope so. Jim Jordan says he wants these subsidies to expire. Mm-hmm. That's what he's saying. That's all I really got to talk about. I'm not going to go too much into that. I want you to understand. He said he wanted these subsidies to expire. Okay. You're going to expire the subsidies, and then you want to debate about what to do to replace them. Let's get a better healthcare plan. You guys do know the Republicans have had almost a decade. It's almost 10 years now. Remember when Donald Trump was debating Kamala Harris? And they were kind of ribbing him. She was like, he's had this long time to create a plan. What kind of plan you got, Donald? Then the moderator was like, yeah, Donald Trump, what is the plan to replace it? Didn't seem like you have a healthcare plan. And he was caught and he said, we have concepts of a plan. Now ask yourself, you got concepts of a plan damn near a decade later when you said you was going to do it in 2 weeks, a decade ago. 2 weeks. We got a plan coming in 2 weeks. Got a plan coming in 2 weeks. That 2 weeks is turned into a decade. How in the hell can people be still this stupid and waiting for a 2-week plan for a decade? And he's going to sit here and say, let's overturn the plan that's already there, that's already got your health care and got you comfortable at what it is right now. Let's change that and then come up with a plan in the middle of it. Jim Jordan, how about you extend it so that the American people don't have to pay astronomical prices, and then you guys work on it and make it better, and the following year you implement the plan that you've already decided upon amongst you and the Democrats, and that way when the plan comes, you done came up with it, you guys gotta vote on it, And once you vote on it, so that when December 31st, 2026 come, we're going into 2027, we just switch from the old plan to the new plan, and we have good prices consistently. But who are you fooling? Who does this dumbass think he is to tell us that, oh, American people, we're going to skyrocket your health care, and then you're going to wait on us to govern before we change it? First off, if you do not change it now, that literally means Americans are going to be paying high prices, not for a month, not for 2 months, for a full year. I don't know about you Americans, but if your health care goes up 70%, up to 300%, it doubles up to 300%. If your health care doubles and triples, do you have more than a year to pay your health care? Or do you not? Because again, 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, a little bit over that. So I know you don't have the extra cash to pay 2 to 3 times what you're already paying. So your insurance is gone. Or you're going to go down to the basics where you just drive by and, doc, what it look like? And then they call you back where it looked like you got cancer. Like, you need to come back on your drive-by. That's the way you're going to do your health care, drive-by care? No. People are going to die, and they know it. They're being disingenuous. How are you going to tell people to go a year with 2 to 3 times more health care? These people are here. I understand that many of us believe and may be very healthy human beings. You're good. You may have just one pill or something you take, whatever it is, some kind of vitamin maybe. Maybe you take something like that, right? Or maybe some blood pressure medicine that might not cost that much. Maybe it costs you a hell of a lot more than you're paying it now, but it just costs you maybe $100 as opposed to the $15 that you're paying. But you're just thinking about yourself. Do you know how many kids that have diabetes? You know how many kids that have heart issues and born with them? You know how many kids that have like defects and mental handicap and physically, having MS, different things like that. How many middle-aged, young, and even older adults who have arthritis, and other ailments, asthma, cancer, all these things that are due to come up for many of us in our families. Can you wait a year to not, and hopefully not, come down with one of these ailments? That's insane to tell me that I'm fully covered December 31st, 2025. And that my health care is going to go away because it's going to get too high on January 1st. And you want me to wait until you decide to have a gathering with Democrats, a kumbaya, if you will, when you guys can't agree on shit. And you're going to come together with a better plan. You've had 10 years. If you don't have a plan now, leave our shit alone until you do. I have never in my life understood. How can you say you have merit? These white men and women are idiots. There's no such thing as merit to them. How do you not have a plan already that's better? I don't have no problem with you bettering fucking Obamacare or Affordable Care Act. Add some shit to it, of course. Reallocate some shit. Make it better. Make the subsidies kind of permanent or whatever you got to do. But to tell people we're going to make it worse and then we're going to think about it. Well, you don't want to put the money up for the subsidy as it is. How you going to make it better? You don't have a plan. If you had a decade to try and figure it out, you ain't going to figure it out in a month or a year from now. So who is dumb enough to believe that the Republicans have enough brain power on their side to do something that their whole party, when they were somewhat smart before the MAGA people, couldn't do it in 50 years? Obama took 50 years from the first person to say they want to give health care to American citizens. 50 years until Obama did it. Every white president before then could have done it, but chose not to. They chose their billionaires over the people. Obama was the first president to choose the people over the fucking billionaires and the healthcare like giants. He chose the people. And the Republicans hate him because he did something for the people that they can't take away. And instead of making it better for their people, adding on for their people, they can say, oh, Obamacare came up with ACA. But then Republicans came up with this little plug-in to the ACA that made it 10 times better. Now you can say the healthcare system is also a part of a Republican system. Wow, you're making it better for all Americans. No, let's tear it down. Say what? You want to make it worse for Americans and call that greater. They trying to sell you candy that's poisonous. It may taste sweet at first, but it's meant to kill you. And that's exactly what they're doing to MAGA and to the rest of us. I was looking at this, MAGA. If they're willing for you to basically vote to kill yourself, then why would you even be mad at them when you die? On your deathbed, all you can say is, I asked for this. You can't be praying for God to save you. No, I took the poison. They gave it to me. Democrats told me that what I'm about to eat is poison. It's going to kill me. I listened to Republicans who said that it was going to make me vibrant and create opportunities for everybody. And they really meant it was going to light your ass up and kill you with radiation. And they were going to run off with all the money. What a wonderful day for the Republicans. What a fucked up day for you. And you fell for it. Not listening to the people who told you you're taking poison. And he is on the news. You notice they don't like CNN. They're on promotion. They're on a world tour of liberal stations. Quote unquote liberal. Not the MAGA station, Fox. They're not on the Fox station. They're on CNN. The station that fake news. And they're on fake news spreading fake news. You know you desperate as a Republican when you go on to CNN, the place that you have been dogging for years. Now you on there trying to get their people to believe that you're not the one that is fucking up everything. Republicans know, which is something I can give them credit for. They know it's a Republican deal. Did you guys see Mike Johnson on that one show? I want to say it was something like dealing with the government, like the C-SPAN or something like that. I think it was that. I'm not 100% sure. And one of the people called in and was just lighting into Mike Johnson, talking about their kids and their health care is going to go up and they got a sick child and these people are going to die and all stuff like that. And it's the Republicans' fault that we don't have health care and you're going to let go of the subsidies and blah, 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 going on and on. I'm loving every minute of it. Mike Johnson looked like he took a dump on air. Just was like, You know how when you were a kid, your kids, when they were little, if you had children, and they be sitting there having a good time and then they get that straight face and just start staring at you and you look like they stopped breathing. They were taking a dump at that time. That's what he looked like. He dead up looked like when he was a little kid and you saw your child taking a dump. He pooping, baby. You need to go get him. It's your turn. Now it's your turn. Yeah, you gotta go get him. That's what Mike Johnson looked like. He was taking a dump on air. Couldn't believe a Republican MAGA or whatever was giving him the business. He came back and said, well, that's why we're doing, because we're trying to do it for people like this. And I'm like, dude, she's saying that you're fucking her over. You're not doing what you're doing to help her. She recognizes what you're doing is hurting her and her baby who could die, her child. And he still tried to spin that and say, that's why we're trying to do it. And the Democrats need to. I was like, these people are sick. Not to be trusted. Not to be trusted. On air. Being ribbed by their own people. Getting the business. And this fool is going to come out and continue to lie and gaslight. It's the Democrats. She just said Republicans, bruh. She didn't bring up a Democrat whatsoever. She is a Republican, and she's pissed off that you're trying to kill her kids. And you had no answer for her, except for gaslighting and lying. They make me sick, y'all. They make me sick. 100%. They lie too much. But that's what they did. We got to keep our sister in the prayers, and that would be Letitia James, because, you know, they treated her disrespectfully, and it's going to be hard for her in the next months or so. Hopefully they throw it out, but we'll see justice through. Donald Trump, even if he loses, he won because he just wanted to see her and everybody else like go through the same shit he went through. And he wants Fox to air every fucking court case she has and see how she looks frustrated just so he can look like him. Donald Trump looked like somebody stole everything he ever owned in his life. He couldn't get it back when he was in court. And he turned out to be a criminal. And if they don't turn out, they go through this whole process and they're innocent, Donald Trump, you're still a 34-time felon, regardless of the outcome. You're still a person who is considered to have sexually assaulted E. Jean Carroll, and even a judge said you can call it rape. And you're the only person out of all these people that a person said when they was 13 that you and Jeffrey Epstein raped her. You can go look her up. Not my words, hers. Nobody else that you're trying to charge with anything even matches up to you and Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh yeah, and by the way, ask Michael Wolff, because he saw you with a bunch of little girls with your pants wet in the nether regions. Yeah. Why would you have that picture? And maybe somebody should ask him about that picture. You had the balls, at least one of them did, Mr. Whitehouse, had the balls to ask it in the Senate. How about one of these reporters have the balls to ask this little orange cretin in his face? What do you think about Michael Wolff, sir? You know, the guy that said that you had a picture with little girls and your pants were wet and they were laughing at you. Does that picture really exist? I'm just saying, I'm a reporter. I must ask the questions that the people want to know. That's what journalism is. And watch that dude have a stroke on air. He'll glitch, I promise you. What'd he say? Fucking pass out. But anyway, good night, Swift Returns. Have a good one. I'm about to get up out of here too, guys. You guys have a great night. Enjoy yourselves. I try my best to put out the best content I can as I get better. We got some stuff coming up. Avid Solutionist is going to be coming up. You can go follow that if you can. And we're going to be providing solutions on top of dealing with the problems of the day. I just want one video that I'm going to play out before we go. And that is Letitia James giving Donald Trump basically the business and showing him what she's made of in her response to being indicted.
This is nothing more than a continuation of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system. He is forcing federal law enforcement agencies to do his bidding, all because I did my job as the New York State Attorney General. These charges are baseless, and the president's own public statements make clear that his only goal is political retribution at any cost. The president's actions are a grave violation of our constitutional order and have drawn sharp criticism from members of both parties. His decision to fire a United States attorney who refused to bring charges against me and replace them with someone who is blindly loyal not to the law, but to the president, is antithetical to the bedrock principles of our country. This is the time for leaders on both sides of the aisle to speak out against this blatant perversion of our system of justice. I stand strongly behind my office's litigation against the Trump Organization. We conducted a 2-year investigation based on the facts and evidence, not politics. Judges have upheld the trial court's finding that Donald Trump, his company, and his 2 sons are liable for fraud. I'm a proud woman of faith, and I know that faith and fear cannot share the same space. And so today, I'm not fearful. I'm fearless. And as my faith teaches me, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. We will fight these baseless charges aggressively, and my office will continue to fiercely protect New Yorkers and their rights. And I will continue to do my job.
Love that. I'm going to give her the last word. I will look it up, DJ. You guys have a great night. Be safe. Much love, and I'll see you guys when I see you.
This is nothing more than
Listen.